Good morning. It's Sunday, February 6th. I'm going to talk a little about working method as a self employed part time potter. And well, anyway. So, as those of you who have been following along at home will know, I've been making pots, specifically bowls, specifically to donate to the Lawrence Art Center's annual Super Bowl fundraiser, which was yesterday and apparently a great success, although I haven't read any numbers or yet had people post pictures of bowls they bought other than one of them. But in that process, I was working in this sort of mode. Okay. So, of the bowls I've made in the last however many years, this is one I just couldn't sell, couldn't give away. I was too much taken with it. So, it lives at the house. And we're going to slip into a bit of jargon for those of you who aren't potters, but the clay in this is a cone 5/6 porcelain. So mid fire, they sometimes talk about low fire, mid fire, high fire. Okay. We also talk about porcelains, stonewares, earthenwares, terracottas. We got jargon. You want lots of jargon? We got jargon. But what I want to focus on today is the fact that for a while, getting ready for this, working for these sorts of colors and these glazes, I was working, throwing it and trimming exclusively in the cone 6 porcelain clay. I can fire it in my electric kiln, a lot of good, control things, plus I'm learning about how these glazes react with each other and so forth. If I were just being a factory or a business in that way, I might well just make my entire inventory out of this clay and these glazes. I mean, obviously, I have a lot of potential here. I can have solid cranberry ones, or pale green ones, or sage green ones, or I mean, I could fill a shop just with this stuff. But I have more interest than that, and I'm in a position, potentially to be a dilettante about it, to make other choices, and to be more interesting to my customers. So I bring this up because, having just worked through that, I'm now shifting to a different clay body. Okay, this is my cone 10 domestic porcelain. And again, jargony, but this fires at a higher temperature. In this case, this is still electric fired, so I'm still in control of it in my kiln. But the combination of this clay body, this glaze, which is called Eustace White, and some cobalt carbonate and water off a brush allows me to do these sort of, referential to Delftware blue and whites. And I'm about to do a bunch of birthday bowls for little kids, and this is what I do now. Okay, so that's why I'm making that shift. But I also, in this clay body, have the chance to do this sort of stuff. Now, the lighting's not going to do me much good here, but okay, so this is the right screen, and this is my Val Cushing black, and they interact in a very nice way. And you see the way in which the glaze is unlike house paint, which is ideal for a potter. We want luscious glazes. And these happen in the gas-fueled reduction kiln at the Lawrence Art Center at cone 10. So to get to these luscious glazes, I have to switch to a cone 10 porcelain, because this is over porcelain. These will behave differently over a stoneware, because the stoneware clay has iron in it that'll come in to the picture, or come on through the glaze, which isn't necessarily a negative, it's just different. Okay. Similarly, okay, this is a stoneware, again, cone 10. If I were to be getting ready for a wood kiln firing, all of this is the effect you can get. Okay, so I think I only glazed it. I glazed it to here. So the interior and to here was glazed with Tomoku glaze. all of this is just flame and ash working on the pot, similar to this. But if I want this, if getting ready for a wood firing, I have to be making my pots out of the correct clay. The clay matters. So rather than attempt to be making objects in multiple clays simultaneously in my tiny little studio, I worked out that I just take turns. So for a while I'm working cone 6, and then I finish up that cycle and I clean up everything, which is also a great opportunity to clean up everything, and I switch to another clay body. And I do the same. And, the period in each clay body may be as short as a week or two or as long as several months. That sort of depends on demand as I set it. But it's also a major factor in why I am dreadfully slow at completing commissions, because potentially that commission is being requested in the clay body that I won't work in for a couple of months yet. It can also work the other way. I mean, I once got a commission on a Wednesday that I delivered hot Saturday morning. That was, I told the person who got it, you have participated in a miracle. So I am able to do these things because I'm not dependent on all the sales of these pots for my living. I am required to work this way because my studio is pretty small. I once even fantasized about buying an old high school so that each room could have a different art media in it. So I have the stone carving room and the porcelain room and the stoneware room and the photography room. Anyway, it was quite the fantasy. So when you're working for yourself in your own space, you find solutions. You find ways to make things work. And this is how this works for me. One clay body at a time. And then I switch to the next one. Have a good day.